누구랑 놀 때 제일 좋아?
잘 모르겠다. 너무 치치해. 아예 안 놀아줘.
아빠 오셨어요.
아빠는 어때?
한마디 하면 무서워.
아빠한테 바라는 거 있어?
그렇게 밀어줬으면 좋겠다. 이렇게 밀어줘야 좋겠어.
혹시 엄마는 어때?
좋아할 것 같아.
참았어.
엄마한테 말해봤어?
내 말을 안 들어줘. 꾸준히 놀아주면 좋겠어.
You know, I talked about work-life balance in one of my videos, and I think this is the only instance where work-life balance is very useful, because a lot of people have a lot of excuses as to why they allow their families to become like this. Maybe they have a lot of work to do, or some of them have like childhoods where they were not paid as much attention to as a child would expect. Some of them just have a lot of crises going on in their lives, like different ramifications of their life all at once, and it becomes very complex. They begin to have a complexity issue where they begin to neglect the people around them. All of these things are a good excuses to a certain degree, but not good enough, I think, because one thing I would say is that if you are not at a point in time in your life where you cannot reorganize most of your time, most of your free time to taking care of your children or your family, I think it is not the right time to have children, because children, we are the most evolved primates on the planet. The dependency periods of children is very, very high because of the size of our brains, because of how much how much capacity we have for extreme intellect, you know. So because of that, the dependency period of a child, a human child, is a lot longer than that of any other species of living things on the planet. So children need a tremendous amount of attention and love and care. They cannot survive without it. Even if they survive physically and you still see them alive, a part of them will die. An emotional part of them, a mental part of them, a part of them that you cannot even define, goes along with all of this problem. This is trauma in the making. This is neglect. I'm sure if you give the parents an opportunity to explain themselves, they can come up with all the beautiful excuses they can. And I'm not denying that all of these things can be non-deliberate. I'm not accusing anyone of deliberately neglecting their child, but then most traumas do come about not because the parents are deliberately neglecting, but because there's a lot of complexity that that has tempered with the stability in the family, and because of that, a lot of neglect goes on. So I would just say that if you know that at any point in your life where you are not stable enough financially, or do not have enough time in your hands to actually take care of a child or take care of a family, please do not. Please do not. That's just from my own point of view, because when I see videos like this quite a number of times, and it's quite heartbreaking, you know, to see. And then children who you think are not wise enough to know these things yet. Imagine how articulate this little boy is about how he feels. He thinks his mom doesn't like him. He thinks his dad is supposed to be nicer than he is to him. Valid. All of these things are valid. I'm sure the dad has a lot of things going on in other parts of his life that has kind of overshadowed the side of him that is supposed to be caring and loving to his child. I'm not sure this is deliberate, but then the complexity issue can lead to things like this. And I think this is one of the things that the psychologists are mainly there for, because people go to think about psychologists just as people who help you talk to your problems. It seems like you just go, you sit down, you speak, and they write things on paper. But what they're really doing most of the time is you have a complexity issue, and they're helping you sort through your complexity issue and to reorganize your life in such a way that one part of your life doesn't heavily depend on the other, or doesn't heavily weigh on the other, or doesn't become a yoke for the other in such a way that it burdens the other part. And the people you love and the people around you are very easily the recipients of all of that burden, and typically negative burden. So this is food for thought. If you are not in a position like this, do not allow yourself to get in a position like this. And even if you finally get to a position like this without knowing it, you need to find people around you immediately who can help you get out of it, because it is typically usually a complexity issue rather than a deliberate neglect. So it means that a call to the organization of your life and priorities is needed, so that the people who you love, the people who are supposed to spend the rest of their life with you, do not suffer unduly, and in a way that you leave them with a scar that doesn't heal. So, and then it's a food for thought.